Well, hello there. It's cutting day. Here at the shop to cut today, and I got quite an assortment. I'm gonna get this. Has got some iris in it. This is a Montana. It's absolutely beautiful. You see that the banding up in there. It's got the fracture lines. I'm pretty sure that's iris. We're gonna get some slabs out of there. Got a lot of Kentuckys going on over here. This beautiful one here. Got some Drews going on it with the beautiful black banding. The oranges and yellows. Look at that banding there. It's pretty fractured up, so I'm gonna find the right spots to cut on it. I'm gonna get that cut today. We got these bigger Brazilians we couldn't cut a couple weeks ago. We'll get cut. I've got this Missouri agate that has got this beautiful crystalline on it. So we're just gonna cut an end off here. I just wanna see what's up underneath. More Kentuckys, and I even got something from Arkansas from the Crater of Diamond State Park. Beautiful crystal pocket up in there. And this is all chalcedony, so we're gonna do a cut along the side right here, just in between the fractures. See what we can get. So about to go in and start some cutting. It's a good day. So I've got to sharpen this wheel right here. You can see, let me see if we can get close here. You can see just how, focus. You can see just how smooth this wheel is right here, because all the diamonds, you've had all the glazing from the agates. The heat have kind of coated these diamonds, so they're not really exposed. But when we take a file and bang the end of it, we can knock some of that glazing off to get the diamonds back exposed again, so this will cut better, because it's not cutting well right now. So that's what I'm doing right now. We are making a lot of noise and getting a blade sharp. Get a good forearm workout doing this. Ready to cut. The diamond's exposed all along the rim now. All right, so let's start with this piece from Missouri, and we're just gonna cut a face off, see what it looks like. All right, let's take a look at Mr. Missouri here. Oh, should let that sit longer. Oh, look at that outfit. So we've got our quartz druzy agate from Missouri. I made 2 cuts here. Cut number 1. Here's our little end piece. It came out really pretty. The oil's all dried off of it right now, so this is just kind of plain and dry, but very pretty. Great agate structure in there. End cut number 2, still oily. Look at that color. Just gorgeous. So much detail in there. And then our main piece, which I'm gonna polish up both sides here. Here's side number 1. Sure do hope this is in focus, because I can't see my camera right now. And side number 2. Man, that's so pretty. Best thing is, we got it, so she'll just sit perfectly as a little display piece. How cool is that? All right, next up we're gonna load up this Brazilian waterline. Oh, the waterline right here, which is nice. I'm trying to go straight across the fracture, or go parallel to the fracture at least, so we can avoid it. See if we can get 2 good halves. We got a window right here as well, so we'll go right between that window and that fracture, straight across. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so our beautiful waterline from Brazil. I say beautiful because I've already seen it, but now to show you guys, because it absolutely is beautiful. I was able to cut in between that window and that fracture and avoid most of the big fractures in there. But man, how pretty is that? Such a stunner. Hey, it looks like 2 people kissing. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. So we've cut one from Brazil now, and we have cut one from Missouri. Let's do one from Kentucky next. Let's get this big bad boy loaded up and see what we can do with it. All right, so we got this Kentucky nodule all loaded up. We're gonna try to cut it right down the middle. See what we got. Okay, so let's take a look at this mystery Kentucky here. I haven't looked at it yet, but oh, that's interesting. Beautiful quartz. Oranges, grays, kind of spotted, like some galaxy in there. Definitely see the agate outline. Little pockets. A little bit of a geode. Very pretty, interesting, different. Very different, but very pretty. I bet you when these get polished up, they're gonna be quite nice, actually. I think they're just so different. I'm not used to seeing anything like this. Kind of like them, though. What do y'all think? Tell me in the comments below what you think of these. I don't even know what they are. They look like fruits on acid. Just bizarre, but weirdly beautiful. And while we are cutting Kentucky agates, we're gonna go ahead and put this one in. Make ourselves a slice of and make ourselves a slice of Kentucky agate pie. All right, so start with this Kentucky agate rough, showing the druzy pockets right in the middle here, exposed. But I wanted a little specimen, a nice little display piece. So in cut number 1, and look at the banding on here. In cut number 2, more. And there is very, very subtle banding in the black here. Very difficult to tell, but it is there. Hard to see on camera. And then our main display piece, again, we get a little piece of pie. This all polished up, it's gonna be just gorgeous. So we're gonna try to do this beautiful, beautiful banded Brazilian agate with waterline here. Next one we're gonna throw on is this big loaf of a Brazilian agate, and we're just gonna try to cut it right down the lateral. So I didn't realize at the time how deep I was cutting this thing. I was hoping that I wasn't cutting through or past the banding. All right, so we got our last 2 guys out of here right at the deadline to stop cutting. So perfect timing. So let's take a look. We'll start with our smaller one. Here's our little end piece. And man, the bands on here are just phenomenal. All right, so I did get a couple slabs, and look at this color. Look at that color. So pretty. Take a look at the next slab. Phenomenal banding all throughout. And then we got our big boy here, and boy, I wasn't disappointed. However, like I told you, I cut it pretty deep there. So I was taking a little bit of a chance. I can always come back and cut some more out of the top here, but man, how pretty is this? Just got home, got all the rocks cleaned up, and but first I've had a corned beef rolling in the slow cooker, so it's chow time. It's falling apart the way I like it. That's the way corned beef should look, right there. Man, I'm hungry. All right, so in addition to the ones that you've seen cutting on the video, we have these Montanas right here, these 3 that I have slabbed up as well, and they're quite nice, so I'm going to show those as well. And of course, what am I doing while I'm editing this video? I am cutting rocks. And I hadn't planned on putting this one in the video, but after cutting it, I have to show it. It's so pretty. Let's take a look. Start with the end piece here. Look at all that moss. Man, how pretty is that? So pretty. Go to slab number 1. So gorgeous. So much moss and color. Man, that's gonna be beautiful cabs. Slab number 2. They just get bigger and prettier. We're starting to get that banding pattern right up here in this corner, and that'll get more pronounced as we go along. Got some fracturing in there, but we can get past it. Man, that is just beautiful. Looks like a wave, doesn't it? What a beautiful landscape there. Slab number 3. Look at these colors. Oh, so pretty. Just in love with this stone. Slab number 4. Oh, no slab number 4. We're to the end piece now. And you can see how this pattern is getting more pronounced. We're getting a little bit more fracturing in there as well. So we're coming up to this big vitroidal section, which we'll end up slabbing this later on down the road, but just had to show this one just because. All right, let's take a look at the others. This Montana, we'll start with this end piece. Just a beautiful waterline. Absolutely gorgeous. That'll tumble really nice. And then we did manage to get quite a few slabs out of here. And man, gorgeous. Those are gonna make some beautiful cabochons. Beautiful Montana waterline agate with great dendrites running through that as well. Our next Montana agate, again, we'll start with the end piece. Really, really pretty. Great dendrites. Kind of a weird shape, and it's got a fracture that ran through it. So here's an intact slab, and it's still holding together. Not by much, but it is holding together. It's just so pretty. There's a thicker slab as we get deeper into the rock. We're holding together a little bit more. And again, just beautiful banding up in there. You can see those parallax bands along with all the dendrites. Great moss. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And then the remainder of the rock we've got left over. You can see where the fractures are, how the agate has grown in different ways. You've got a lot of the dendrites up in this fracture, not so many up in here, a few, but you've got a lot of banding over here, and you don't have this much banding over in this section here. So pretty interesting the way these fractures occur and how it allows different minerals and different aspects of the agate to form. This one here is an absolute stunner. This is the end piece. Really neat water lines with the dendrites again, kind of running through there. And as we go further into the rock, we managed to get 4 great slabs out of this. Really impressive banding. Got a little quartz core at the top with the additional banding up in there. Slab number 2. Quartz core and the banding at the top just get more pronounced as we go deeper into the rock. Slab number 3. These are so gorgeous. Just love that water line. Slab number 4. My biggest slab here. Again, that quartz core and the banding at the top just get bigger and bigger. And you've got an amazing parallax water line in there. So neat. And it's the dendrites that actually are composing or filling a lot of the water lines here, giving it that colored effect. Very pretty. And then our end of the rock, we've still got a lot to cut from and slab from, but I may just leave this as a specimen because it is so nice. Next up is our Brazilian with the water line. And look at that coloring. I mean, beautiful rainbow effect in there. It's a carnelian, but the colors just transfer so cool through this. So neat. You can see the beginning of that water line down here in the bottom corner. We'll go to slab number 1. Look at the colors. So pretty. You notice we start to get a little quartz core building up in there. That might have some iris in it. In fact, I think it does. I'm gonna have to slab some skinnies off this one. The biggest slab that I cut. Look at the colors. Just a stunning piece. Banding in there is just phenomenal. And again, we got a bigger quartz core, actually getting a little bit of a geode effect coming in the middle. And then the rest of the rock, which we still have quite a bit of to cut on. Just stunning. What an absolutely perfect Brazilian agate. Take a look at our Missouri piece next. We can do this with oily hands. There we go. Just beautiful end piece cut off there. You can see all the detail on that agate. You got some grays, you got some purples and taupes or mauves, or I don't know all the colors. I'm a guy, so I know, you know, the 8 basic colors, but there's a lot of others in there. This looks like a, I don't know, some kind of a painting. Absolutely beautiful. Here's the other end piece. It's even prettier. Just so gorgeous. And then we've got our main display piece. I'll fix all the saw marks. We had the circuit breaker trip while we were using the saws, and so we ended up with a big old saw mark that I'll have to work out. That's just so pretty. And again, it's just gonna sit perfectly as a display, just like that. I might cut a base to make it flatter, but I don't even think I need to. I'm gonna shape around the front, get it all polished out so it'll be a curved face. That's gonna be beautiful. Now we're gonna get into some of the bigger pieces. These are the 2 end pieces for the Kentucky, beautiful orange Kentucky agate that I cut. Just phenomenal, so nice, that banding. And you can kind of see there the little subtle bands that are in the black that I mentioned earlier. Barely see it, but they are there. So I'm gonna polish these up, I think, individually. I may even be able to get some cabs out of some of these areas in between the fracture lines. I hope I can, because they would be so pretty. Very, very beautiful, and you can see all that banding up in there. That black is actually very translucent, but it goes so deep, it just appears black. So those are the end pieces, so pretty. And then our main display specimen, our slice of pie. Just absolutely gorgeous. You see all the drues on top here. We've got a ton of crystals. Nice quartz. I may even take this end off and clean it off and shape it around the front eventually. But you see all the fracturing. Again, this is not uncommon for Kentucky agates. You can find one without fractures. They get really, really pricey. But regardless, absolutely beautiful. Our next one is our weird beauty from Kentucky. The more I look at this, the more it grows on me too. It's just such a pretty rock. Just absolutely beautiful agate running all around that quartz core. You have a little petroidal pocket. Oops. And a little petroidal pocket surrounded by gray agate, which is really cool. It is not that common of an agate color. Some beautiful orange banding at the bottom, along with this kind of cream agate with the gray in the middle. And just solid quartz with some orange quartz mixed in too. Really pretty. We got 2 halves of it. Just wild looking. Tell me what you guys think about this one, because again, this is pretty unique. Like I said, it looks like a fruit on acid. Don't do drugs. P.S. But wow. The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. So pretty. Second to last, we have our little Brazilian geode. Awesome waterline and phenomenal banding running around that pocket. Again, we do have some fracturing. I was able to avoid most of the big fractures on here, which is good, but there are some fractures. A lot of these bigger rocks, you're just gonna run into fractures. There's no way around it. The bigger rocks tend to get beat up more, so you will have some fracturing from time to time, and it is what it is. But what a pretty pair. Those are gonna polish up so nice. I forgot, those are our kissing people. I know, I'm weird. You're just gonna have to accept it if you're gonna keep watching my channel. It is what it is, you know? And the last one here, this big Brazilian, and we'll start with the bottom of it. Just amazing detail again. The banding goes all the way around in a perfect circle. And there's a lot of banding in there. As big as it is, it gets a little difficult to see sometimes, but just awesome, awesome banding. So that's our bottom section. And again, I cut it really thin. Like, you really can't cut this nodule any thinner than I did, but I think it came out really cool. There may be some more banding hiding in the top here, and you know, I'll wrestle with the idea of cutting another slab, but in the meantime, I'm definitely gonna polish this out. Look at all that banding. The camera does not pick it up as well as in person, but it is absolutely gorgeous. That's a victory. I will take it. And now, me and my kick-ass Three Amigos t-shirt are going to take a nap. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon.